I watched the first episode of Beast Games, Mr. Beast's new reality TV show where he's giving away $5 million. Here's the thing, I actually think it's really bad in many, many ways. So let me explain why.
I'm Mr. Beast, these are my 5 friends, and what you're about to see will blow your mind.
What's up guys, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Hit the subscribe button for more pop culture content in your feed. Let's get into today's video. Okay, Mr. Beast, what do I think of this guy? I've got to say, like, I really admire his creativity. I think it's incredible, like, what this guy does. I think as an online creator who just, like, set himself up and did everything he could to become the biggest, like, awesome. Well done, man. Incredible. But I think this new Beast Games show kind of really highlights all of the problems with what Mr. Beast does. I realize I'm probably going to get like downvoted or like negative comments on this from Mr. Beast fans. And as a YouTuber with only around 8,000 subscribers, it's probably not a good idea to take on the Beast. P.S. Subscribe so I can have Mr. Beast level money. I think one of the main criticisms of Mr. Beast is the fact that this guy just has like so much money and he uses that money to like fund his videos and does like all of these things like, oh, if 2 people stay in a house for 2 years and never leave, then I'll give them $3 million. Whoever is the last person to leave this swimming pool gets $1 million. Oh, I'm giving 500 people $1 million if they give me $100. Just stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure the most recent one I saw was 2 pilots have to stay in a private jet for like 100 days, and if they do, they get $1 million each. And I should stress, this is all for the purpose of entertainment. I think we get it wrong and think that Mr. Beast is a genuinely charitable guy who wants to do all this stuff to help people. But if he actually wanted to do that, he would just give people money, not turn it into like content that like tests people's limits.
And if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
The thing about Beast Games is it is clearly alluding to the popular TV sensation Squid Game. And not just because it's called Beast Games, but like literally look at this show. The costuming, the set design, the concept, like everything about this is clearly alluding to the popularity of Squid Game. That's a big problem in itself, which I will get to in a sec.
Oh really? Why don't you tell me more about that?
I think the main thing to keep in mind, as I said, is that Mr. Beast doesn't do this stuff because he's inherently a good guy. He does it because he knows it will result in more views and thus more money for him. And here's the problem with doing a show that is clearly an allusion to Squid Game. The whole point of the show Squid Game is why this is bad for society. I'm gonna say this one more time because I genuinely don't think Mr. Beast understands it. The whole point of Squid Game was to illustrate that a society that exists like this is not good. Like, I don't know how you could come out of watching Squid Game and be like, that's awesome, we should do that. Especially at this current point of the 21st century in which, at least here in Australia where I'm from, there is a serious cost of living crisis. It is almost impossible to afford a house and lots of people are just genuinely struggling. Then you have this exceptionally wealthy guy, Mr. Beast, but you can kind of sub out any billionaire for this kind of figure, who is basically like playing with the desperation of people for money to create entertainment. And maybe you can say that this is sort of like all reality shows, all game shows, but it kind of hits different because of this comparison to Squid Game that Mr. Beast is evidently making. Squid Game is explicitly anti-capitalist. It is all about exposing the ways in which the wealthy use money to control people.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
And how everyday people who just need money to buy basic things are struggling while wealthy people are living it up on yachts and private jets and first-class tickets to wherever they want to go in the world. Hell, some of the billionaires are just doing joyrides into space, you know? As you do.
If we can do this, just imagine what you can do.
Squid Game highlights this by like taking these desperate people and literally they trade their lives for the chance to win this game. And one of them gets to be the lucky winner of like, say, the $4 million. And the Squid Game tournament itself is watched as a spectator sport for these rich American billionaires who are the real masters behind it. It's sick. It's honestly sickening. So then Mr. Beast has seen this and done pretty much the same thing without the unaliving. But I will say that when the players are eliminated, at least in the first episode, they drop into nothingness through a trap door.
You triggered my trap card!
And I'm going to be honest, that seems pretty symbolic, like a pretty apt metaphor for what is happening in society to poor, desperate people. They are just like forgotten about and plummet down into nothingness until they eventually, I guess, probably just die.
Well, for once, the rich white man is in control.
Squid Game really highlights power imbalance, wealth imbalance, all of these factors in our day-to-day lives that are huge problems for everyday people, but not for rich people. And Mr. Beast acts as though he's doing everybody a favor by giving them the chance to win this money and showing them all literally talking about how they want to do it for their kids, or they grew up homeless and they want to give their family a second chance. Like, that is what these people are doing. It's very real for them, this money. But to Mr. Beast, it's just change that he can throw around like nothing.
Money fight!
And that's why I just find this whole thing really tacky and frustrating. Because Jimmy seems to have zero awareness of this fact and this imbalance of power that he has over all of these people. And I accept the counter that all of these people showed up, they agreed to do it. Leave aside the complaints that a lot of them were treated really poorly on set, by the way. Like, let's give Mr. Beast the benefit of the doubt on that. It still just doesn't feel right to me at all, what this show is doing. Like, I genuinely think this show is well produced. It's a good show. Like, that's kind of the problem though. There's a complete ignorance here of the reality of what's going on. These people who are coming in as contestants are genuinely desperate for money. Like, there is a problem here. Using the need for average people or poor people or just day-to-day people to have financial freedom, which is something that some of us will never have. Some of us will work our whole lives to maybe achieve in retirement. Some of us will risk investing in the stock market. Some people will become addicted to gambling. You know, all of these things, using that need for entertainment and for sport, to me doesn't sit right. And that's literally what Squid Game was trying to illustrate. Then Mr. Beast decides, I'm gonna do my own version with zero irony at all. And that's not cool. Whew, thank you so much for watching this one, guys. Hey, if you like this video, there's plenty more where that came from, all on my channel. Hit the subscribe button for more pop culture content. And I would love to know down in the comments, help me out in the algorithm, what do you think of this? Like, I'm happy to debate this. Like, I'm not set in stone about my perspective. This is kind of just my instant reaction. So comment below your thoughts on Beast Game, Squid Game, and capitalism in general, I guess. But if you just want to help me out in the algorithm but have nothing to say, just comment Beast Games down in the comments so that I know you're here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You can also check out my blog. I write about like stuff like this, pop culture, the world, social issues, anxiety, being a millennial. So I have a bunch of posts up there and I post every Sunday, but otherwise just stay tuned to this channel for more of my content. My name's In Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I will catch you later.